Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me either on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, or my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Either or both of those, the support would be great. Subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Love to hear some comments and to see how these are resonating with you and what's going on in your life. It helps inspire and support others to see what else is going on, the reality of what's going on in other people's lives. Because we're all more similar than we like to think and going through similar cycles. So today is the 19th of February 2020, and this is an invitation for the collective energies that are coming through via tarot to help support and guide you and hopefully inspire you. So the first card being the Three of Pentacles, great number 3. 3 being reflective in everything that works together, that makes things happen, right down to the atom type level with the proton, the neutron and the electron, I think it is, and then right up into our cells, how they work with lots of the 3 working together to accomplish a goal, to make something happen, to people, to planets, to the godly type nature. The number 3 is the making things happen, using the skills or the energy of something else or someone else to complement yours and make something happen. So there's this project, there's this relationship, there's this something that you want to make work. Maybe in the past it's taken a little bit of energy out of you because maybe this same project, this same relationship didn't work for whatever reason, whatever energies were surrounding it, where you were in your cycle, excuse me, regarding it, excuse me. So there's a real promise here to accept help and create that group, create that teamwork, the skills that complement each other to get the project done, to not try and covet the project or covet the relationship too much. There's an energy here too with the 8 of fire, clarifying it, that there's a more swift movement now, there's more energy behind it, there's more propulsion behind it, in that it's new, but it may be an old project or relationship that it needs a new spin on it, and maybe somebody's going to come in, an energy of a person is going to come in that brings this newness to an old relationship, an old project, or an old creative process that you wanted to get done. With this swift movement now, there's an energy of it getting going now, and you can see the end goal. But there is something coming through for me that is just try to visualize your end goal, of course, know what you're working towards, but allow flowing energies to come in also. Maybe don't be too fixed on how it's going to happen, or the ways it's going to happen, or how it should look. The universe and the energies that we work with, I like to bring in surprise, and sometimes the human brain tries to fix things too much and gets fixated on how things should happen from this stage to that stage to the other. So yes, visualize the end goal, but remember to be in flow. Flow is very important for this. But a great combination of cards. The next card is the Ten of Swords. I'm feeling that from on the greater scale of things, the wider stage, and right down into our personal lives, it's as if we've had so much thrown at us, so many distractions, so many worries, so many swords thrown at us, and with this created this thought process that literally this guy is lying on the floor face down in the sand, and his waters are still behind him now because he's got that many swords in his back. He can't fit any more in. Nobody can fit any more in. Even if somebody tries to throw something else at him, he's reached a point of surrender, of, you know what, throw at me what you will, I've got you, this is too much. I've had all of this thrown at me and I'm still alive. There's no space in my back for any more swords. Any more swords being thrown, either through the self, limiting self. There's just no space in your head. And we've all been through this, where especially leading up to this point last year, the year before that, and just coming into this year, although there's been lots of blissful moments, there's been lots of, especially on the wider stage, lots of worry, lots of red flags, lots of threats of war and death and viruses and this, that, and to other. It's like, yeah, we've reached that tipping point of where we've all had this, where our head gets so full of worry, it gets so full of woe, that it's literally that point of, don't care, had enough. There's no more space in my head for another negative thought process. There's no more space in my head for any more limiting belief systems that I want to cycle through my head, or that anybody wants to try and put on me and cycle through my head. There's just no more space. So although it's a tough place to get to, because obviously this guy's been through a lot, had a lot thrown at him, it's a 10. It's an end of a cycle. There's no more space for any more of this shit. So this is a card to call upon you to take these swords. These are all thought processes, lessons learned. Transmute them. Take the lessons that maybe will serve you in this new stroke old relationship project. That you've been burnt once, you'll not be burnt again by the same thing. Take that forward, and whatever doesn't serve you, whatever was limiting you, whatever was grinding you down, making you think constantly about, but never getting any further forward with, leave those swords behind. Let them go to the ground. You don't need them. This 10 gives you the energy to say, gone, done. I'll take forward what I need, so that I don't have to go through that cycle again. But the rest can just go. To clarify this card, we have the 2 of Wands, and this is calling upon us to have courage. Because I'm saying that very easily, what I've just said there about this card. But it does take courage to do that. It takes courage, because to do that, we're looking at the self. We're looking at what we've allowed other people to get in our brain, and we've allowed ourselves to start believing and thinking on, and reflecting on constantly. So it does have this call to be courageous, to look at that and take forward what you don't need and leave the rest behind. And sometimes that can be a little bit uncomfortable, because we get disappointed in ourselves that we've let this thought process in. We get disappointed in ourselves that we've allowed ourselves to go through this certain cycle, and things like that. So it does take courage to be honest with the self, to let go of these swords, to let go of the things that we don't need anymore and move forward. So there is that courage there. This card also, with this card for me, reflecting again this feeling of maybe old projects, old relationships that didn't work in the past for whatever reason, didn't take off, just didn't get momentum in the past. This new person coming into your field is bringing in a new spin. It's like putting a new spin on an old thing that you really wanted but just didn't happen at the time. So there's that, sorry if you can hear my tummy, there's the new spin element on it. So new stroke old, but this time the energies just seem right to get it done. There's again this momentum, this need to act, to be ready to act. It's the fire, it's action. To clarify that further, the third card being the sun. Been waiting for this card to come out on these readings for the daily energies. The sun. Obviously, the sun gives us courage to grow. You plant a seed in the ground, and the sun is what nurtures it and brings it on. This benevolent sunshine actually changes us physically. Very quickly, if we spend time in the sun, our skin color changes. We transmutate into something new, into something different. And again, we're still the old person inside, we're still the same person, but we have an element of change on the outside of the physical self, because we do have that change of colour very quickly if we spend time in the sun. So that reflects what the sun does even at the deeper levels. It helps things move on, it helps things grow. It's compassionate, it nurtures, it helps things ignite. So that, and when the sun's out, what do we want to do? Especially in the UK where I am, the sun, it's a bit shy. So, it's the clouds are a bit, extravagant. They like to be around quite a lot where I am. So when the sun's out, everybody's out. Everybody makes the most of it, out with the kids, out at the beach, out having food outside. It's because it's nice. It creates newness. It creates fresh growth. Sprouts grow from the ground when the sun shines, and we want to be out in it. We want to be full of action. We want to move towards the sun. So this is showing that, this project, there's the real sense of movement now. This relationship, whatever you're focused on, there's this real sense of movement, and the energy's really being there to support that movement, to support that creative process, and enjoy the journey, enjoy this time while the sun is out. To clarify that, we have the 9 of earth. So again, just like I'm saying, we plant a seed in the ground and it grows. This is the pentacles, the 9 of pentacles. It's the seeds, it's the material, it's the things we can use. So again, there's lots of success with projects and relationships in this reading today, because this is accomplishment. This is a project, a relationship well done. It also speaks of luxury. So, again, just like I was saying, enjoy yourself while the sun's out. Enjoy this creative process. Enjoy the journey towards the end goal. Enjoy this relationship and enjoy the journey towards the end goal. There's this sense of abundance here. The seeds have grown, the work that you've put in, the teamwork that you've done. Again, in the sun, we would like to be together. We like to have fun. We like to play ball. We like to do things together in the sun. There's this sense of real alignment and encouragement. This real anointing. Again, the number 9 being very much about anointing. And what does the sun do? It anoints us. It anoints us with its rays. It invigorates us. We need those rays for our bones. We need the sun. Consider also doing a little bit of sun gazing. While the sun's low, it's a benevolent sun. While the sun's low, look at it for a little while. Just flashes of looks, let it really sink in, so that it comes out of every pore. You're shining right now. If you can be courageous, let go of old thought cycles, old limitations, and even look back at old things that you really wanted to get done and aspired to get done. You've got this real sense of this promise, this energy that will be this momentum that will be created behind it, and that actually you'll be dancing in the sun regarding this project or relationship or whatever this end goal is for you. This is getting established. Again, luxury. If this isn't happening for you just yet because you're on this journey, you're on this creative process, start right from the bottom. Be ceremonial about getting ready. Create that sense of luxury about self, and you'll attract it in. While you're washing your face, do it ceremoniously, do it lovingly, do it luxuriously, putting your aftershave on, putting your makeup on. The ancient ones knew about ceremony. They knew about symbolism. That it either switches off our brain at the right time so that our heart mind can come forward and we can feel our way and be present in the moment. or it really hones in our thought process, and really hones in what we're trying to do, what the intent is behind it. Humans like to have that symbolic process, that sacred process, that luxury, and it creates that luxury around everything, around the present moment. All in all, go for it. All in all, don't be afraid to look at things that maybe have failed in the past, just because you needed to learn some more lessons about it, or let some more things go in your life or in your thought process. Don't be afraid to go back on them. Don't be afraid to go for it, because the energies behind you today and hereafter, if you start on this journey, are good. The sun is shining. This benevolent sun is shining, and your seeds are growing. Your pentacles are growing. This is the material sustainability, you know, so much so that you tip into the point of having luxuries that you didn't have before. So it's a great reading for today. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. Balance in this infinity symbol, the divine feminine, divine masculine, a connection with the spirit world and the material world, bringing things forth, connecting the two, making things happen. You have all of the tools on the table to get this project done, to get this relationship going. You've got all of these tools have been created by some of these hardships that you've been through. So don't waste them. Use them for your good. Be the magician. Use those tools, use those lessons to then go back to things that you really wished had happened, you really wished had worked out, and make them happen. Because of this, don't waste these trials and tribulations and thought processes. Use them, because this is what puts all of these tools that this magician has on the table. Is grounded, is very thoughtful about where he puts his magic, how he makes things happen. But you know, he makes things happen. He takes action. He uses the tools on the table. He doesn't just let them sit there in his back. So it's a fabulous reading. It's a great reading. The Eight of Cups on the bottom of the other deck, this sense of moving away from the old, moving towards the new. You know, being more connected to your spiritual self, knowing your capabilities, knowing how much you are worth, and knowing what you want to achieve and getting it done, moving towards it rather than staying stuck in old cycles. So it's a great reading for the 19th of February 2020. If you would like a private tarot reading, you can always get in touch with me via Messenger or any of the other contact details either above or below, depending on where you're watching this video, either Facebook or YouTube. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, and like the True Divine 44 Facebook page. It really does help get things going. Any shares are greatly appreciated also. But in the meantime, I'm sending you much courage, love, to get the projects going that you want to get done, to get that relationship going that you've been maybe wishing worked in the past, because the energies are behind you, the energies are supporting you. Be balanced, and as always, be whole. Mwah.